So framing week, basically wrapping up now. We've got the last couple of items for the day, which are fascia board and framing out our skylights. A bit of a process in all the framing. So everything we do is hand cut. We don't do prefab frames, we don't do truss roofs, everything's hand cut. So it's really a lot in the set out. It's really cool. This is a nice frame. This roof's been lots of fun. And like I said, it's coming to a finish today. So next week, scheduled in our trade. So the roofer is the first one that comes in. Roof will go on. Following the roof is rough-in, so services, electrical, we've got plumbing, air conditioning, so all the services that go in the walls. And then we can wrap it up as quickly as possible. So that's gyprock, your internal linings, which will go on really nicely because our frame's perfect. So that's the gist of it, where we're at today. Ideally, that ceiling joist is a 150, and you do it in one length from this wall over the intermediate wall and all the way into that whaler we did on Wednesday. This timber here will do it, 150 OVL. So that runs the whole way across in the same line, and that'll be the tunnel for both skylights. Bathroom and laundry both have a skylight, so working out the skylight size, so the gyprock runs right into the glass. So when you look up, all you see is beautiful glass, no frame. So just trying to work it all out to make it look beautiful.
Good seeing everything go up, the roof up. Will be good to get the roof on as well sooner than later. So if any weather hits us, we can just keep cracking on, but it's been good. It's a nice frame we've got up there. Exciting.
Roof framing's a really fun stage of a job. This frame in particular, it's not huge in scale, but it is huge in detail. So we've got these rafter tails that come off the end. They're all exposed. It kind of matches some more traditional building methods. And then you've got like the eaves lining board. So look, loads in this. We've got two different pitches on this roof as well. So the lower roof is at a different angle to the upper roof. If you look closely, you can see everything is cut perfectly. There's no gaps between any of the timber junctions. So it's a thing of beauty. We get lots of compliments on our framing. Although you never see it, it is the bones of the building. We're gonna get loads of photos of it. We're really proud of how it looks. We always are. So that's framing, that's roof. The guys love doing roofs as well. It's fun. You get to play with funny angles. All your high school mathematics comes into play. So this is the roof on this job. It looks really good. Also ties into a tricky box gutter. The box gutter also acts as our bulkhead, also acts as framing for all of our services to run through, in particular air conditioning. And then we'll get some grills up on there. So nice little roof frame. It's gonna look good.
Trying to organise all the loose ends for this project that we might forget about during our critical path. So just things that don't affect our actual schedule that we can sort of slot in anywhere need be.
It's actually a pretty good point what Nick makes about, you can call them loose ends, but they're not loose ends yet, but these are the things that become loose ends. So our scope of works follows a critical path, and then there's a whole lot of things that don't really fall onto a critical path. So our scope includes repairing the existing facade. So there's bits of, rotted out timber, stone treads, bricks that's wobbling around. We've got to move a manhole. We've got to do adjusting of the existing internal swinging doors. So there's a list of about 15 things like this that don't fall in any critical path, but if left unattended to, we'll try and get to the end of a job and all of a sudden we've got 3 weeks of work doing bits. So timber framing's done. Our guys have been full steam ahead. Now when all of our trades come in, Nick's gonna line up our team on all of these bits and pieces so they don't become loose ends. Isn't that right, Nick?
Yep, that's it. Anything from subfloor insulation to things like side entrance door that we're replacing to organising additional labour for simple little installation items that we're going to be doing. So even things like skirting and architraves, just making sure that we nut out the right one to get as close to existing as possible and then run it by the client.
And when do you get the upgrade job title from junior to senior project manager?
think that'll be a couple of years at this stage.
Couple of years? Come on, man.
No, hoping to do it. I don't know,
Fast track
hoping
yourself.
in the next 6 months, maybe. We'll see what the big man says.
That's it.
What does the big man say?
Big man don't know yet. Yeah, no, we'll see. No, Nick's doing well. He's doing well. Actually, we're coming on to 12 months.
Yeah, coming up to 12 months.
Getting close to 12 months with us. So, I think like a lot of us just learning our systems and the way we do it. So he's come from, mini high-rise commercial work where they were super systemized.
Yeah.
So being able to kind of split doing that stuff up, and then running trades and getting around site, being a little bit more mobile as opposed to computer bound. So yeah, Nick's coming along nicely, very nicely. Before you know it, he might be sitting in this chair, running a job. See how we go. Lining everything up in a house isn't easy. It's I guess a bit of an art form. It takes a lot of detail in the set out. So getting things to line up is, every time you walk down this side passage, you're going to see this all lining up beautifully. It looks amazing. You'll notice here this perfect layout of brickwork. So the original part of the house, we actually toothed these bricks out back to about here. Continued the line through. So these are literally the bricks that came out of this corner were put aside to go back in this corner. That way they've weathered, they're everything exactly the same. So the mortar joint line continues through exactly the same around the whole house. Everything was set out from this point. So it's come up really, really nice. We've got an expansion in there just to allow for the movement between the new and the old. That'll get tidied up at the end of the job. That's only just been left in there quite crudely at the moment. It's really easy to build roughly and not so easy to build with finesse. It could be easy for someone to say, it doesn't matter how these line up, I can stick a down pipe to block it. But building with finesse, you end up with details like this. And every time you walk up and down the side of this house, you're going to appreciate a little detail like this. Your eye's drawn to it, it looks good, and you're like, hey, whoever the bricklayer or the builder was on this project has skill, some serious skill to be able to do something like this. So it's a rewarding detail for us, and it'll be rewarding for the owner for a long time to come. Yeah, next week's plans is rough-in. So first thing we've got to do is get our roof on. That's a big stage. Roofer's been out this week to measure up, get all of the details right, make sure the box gutters are working perfectly, parapet cappings line up with fascia boards. So all these fine little details are going to look bang on. On the back of the roof, we've got electrical and plumbing and air conditioning. Hopefully by the end of the week, we're pretty well roughed in and ready for sheeting.